Welcome back to Documentaries That Make You Fall Asleep. Today we'll be observing the natural interactions of the human with the technological advancement of dark patterns. With the development of more mobile and computer applications, we rely on user interfaces to send and request data, play games, and communicate. Most of these designs are intentional and deeply influential. In fact, one type of design practice is so influential that it tricks users into acting against their own interests. It is known as a dark pattern, like a high-tech Joker, really. Let's observe some dark patterns in the wild. Here is a wild creature in the streaming jungle who wants to cancel his Hulu subscription. Hulu is such a funny name. That's probably why the creature is so done with it, but so is Netflix. Ugh, I miss the simpler times when we could just go and look at static lines on our TV and be happy with it. Yay! He's almost there. It's about time. Wait a minute. What's this? He doesn't want this holding this subscription. He wants to cancel it already. Ugh! Another step. Oh my god. He should just cancel at this point. He's clicking the green button. Oh, wait a minute. That says continue watching. Uh-oh. In all his glory, the creature assumed that his cancellation was complete, or so he thinks. He opens his debit bill and sees that he's been charged for another month of Hulu again, and has only $1 left in his bank balance. This shows two types of dark patterns, misdirection and forced continuity. The user was under the assumption that the green button successfully canceled his subscription, but the pattern was done in this way because it was designed in that manipulative way. This leads to the individual losing their ability to influence their own financial decisions. This creature cannot shake his dependence on technology. The technology will not let him get away with it. Here we observe another creature who wishes to close her Amazon account due to her fear of Jeff Bezos' head. With a companion in her lap, she spends hours of searching on Amazon.com to close her account. She finds no hope. It is not under accounts or settings, and instead is somewhere else. I'll just let her do the talking. Oh, what? She's not even done? She has to talk with someone to manually delete her account? Let's end our observation here. Looks like the design requires customers to jump through hoops upon hoops. It's incredibly difficult to get out of this situation, like being stuck in a roach motel. If accounts are hard to remove, then users are more inclined to leave their accounts alone and never change passwords. They're more exposed to hackers and malicious activity that can target unmaintained accounts. So dark patterns not only cause people to stay latched into companies' ecosystems, but also pose a greater security risk. Finally, we will turn our attention to one of the largest applications of technology. Video games have provided us with reams of entertainment, but dark patterns still remain. Here we see a typical player in his natural habitat open up a Candy Crush saga. It was free to download, so he thought, why not? As he opens up the app, the game presents green, bright, and huge buttons to nudge our creature to spend more time to continue playing and paying for games. He seriously considers buying the additional power-ups, but thinks that's for another time. This level is pretty difficult. Even with strategic thinking, he cannot utilize moves to clear the stage. Once again, the green buttons appear and are the focus of the screen. They take up the center, and our player doesn't even realize that there are other options to gain more moves. He scrolls through the options to buy highly lucrative choices. Widespread use of dark patterns appeal to clear business interests at play at the player's expense. For Candy Crush's parent company, Saga, as King. For Candy Crush's parent company, King, has generated more revenue from this game than ever before. It's easy to see why. Susceptible creatures may spend more time than they anticipated or expected, and it cannot quickly track all of the possible ways of spending inside of the application. All of these devices incentivize humans to invest more time and money. Addiction is another possibility. Studies have shown that those who are addicted to technology tend to be more sleep deprived and more depressed. Dark patterns don't just have the financial consequences, but also health ones too. As dark patterns become more prolific, there are multiple impacts that can snowball from this. Not only of things like addiction or excessive spending or security issues, but with our creatures approving regulation to protect privacy, like the General Data Protection Regulation, companies have utilized dark patterns to coerce humans into surrendering more private info. For example, Google provides settings to update privacy, but through a confusing series of selections. Facebook even makes humans think that notifications are waiting to be responded to, so consumers must hurry through the settings and may mistakenly divulge more info that they would like. Dark patterns can effectively undercut the ability for laws to work. We can expect humans to become more skeptical of technology companies as they delve deeper into these patterns. This isn't to say that we should avoid technology. Inventions like the internet, smartphones, and cloud computing has undeniably bettered the general quality of life. But as we depend more on technology to better our lives, we should be aware of the trade-offs and the business interests tied to that tech. Stay woke, folks. Conclusion. As dark patterns become more prolific, there are multiple impacts that can snowball from this. Not only of things like addiction or excessive spending or